Hollow Knight has dropped 4 DLCs, and I am here to review them because why the fuck not? Right, so, hello everyone, welcome back to another video. Today we're going to be talking about the 4 DLCs that Hollow Knight provides. Now, I want to make a disclaimer. These DLCs are free, like completely free, and they come when you buy the game, which is now, at the time of recording this video, $5 on Steam. So if you would like to get it, that's probably the best time to do that. Now, I want to make something abundantly clear. Last time we critiqued Hollow Knight, I critiqued Hollow Knight, I differentiated between the two main ways of judging something, preferably a game. Judging it as a product and as art. This cannot apply obviously in these 4 DLCs because you cannot judge something as a product when it is free. You can judge it as something that's an extension to art. So yeah, today we're going to be doing that. The game's 4 DLCs are the Dream shit. I don't remember its name. I'm sorry. I actually did research, and I can't remember the name. But fuck that. Anyway, so it's the Dream shit, the Lifeblood one. It's also the Grim Troop and God Home, Gods and Nightmares, whatever the fuck. Okay, you don't come to these channels, you don't come to my channel to see actually decent reviews, you just come to pass your time when you're fucking bored or something. Now, let's start with the first DLC, which is the Dream shit DLC that nobody even noticed because God Home has more content than my fucking future does, but I mean, anyways, whatever. So, the Dream DLC. I mean, it is quite good. I mean, it only had 2 fights and some other shit, but we're gonna be talking about the 2 fights, the 2 boss fights. Also, we're only gonna be talking about boss fights in this critique because these were the actual, you know, the actual, let's say, important shit for the developers because they really didn't add any other enemies or something. So yeah, 2 bosses. The first one is a rematch to the Dunk Defender, preferably, and well, actually, well named White Defender, and this has some ties to the story. We're gonna be talking about that later. And the second one is an extremely well prepared and well shown Zod fight, which is just it's really good, but it's really boring at the same time. It also has some bugs that really annoy me, but we're also gonna be talking about that. So let's begin with the White Defender fight. I like it. What I didn't like is that the dive does not really does not block his attacks, does not stagger him, which is something that you could do with the Dunk Defender. And this boss fight is quite good. It is a very big challenge, so I wouldn't really say that anyone with no skill at the game or something would want to go with that fight first off, like after they defeat the Dunk Defender, because that's actually you can do that. You can just it's just a room right next to the Dunk Defender, and that's quite it. So yeah, I believe that it is a very good fight. It has he has some really good moves, and yeah, I didn't actually count these moves because they are volatile. They are really volatile. Like some moves are combos, some other are not, and yeah, it's really confusing. Now, the fight that didn't really make it up to White Defender's level is obviously Zod's fight. I didn't like it at all. Not at all, but I mean, it was a good fight if you look at it, the first one. The other ones are just bullshit. The first one is Grey Prince Zod with some other names. But then he turns to fucking invincible, vigorous, gracious, fucking beautiful and stunning and cunning and fucking whatever, the ultimate fucking perfect Zod. And he just kills you in one hit. The boss fight is way too difficult Not on Radiant mode, but if you don't know what Radiant mode is, we'll talk about that later. It's part of the God Home update. But not on Radiant mode, but generally, if you want to get him on the God Home, you will need to pass his regular version, his regular fights. And I think there are like 4 fights, or either 4 or 5. Don't really remember. Like I said, I didn't really do as much research. Well, I didn't really do any research because I've played the game quite a lot, and I didn't need to do any research because we're gonna be talking about my opinion, not other guys' opinion. So like, yeah. Now, like I said, I didn't like Zod because he's way too hard, way too difficult, and it's too bad because he's presented very well. You know, like, you just see a black figure, then it's fucking Zod, and your ex-girlfriend is just buffing him, and yeah, his health bar does not really, it doesn't get bigger or something. His attacks are also not that varied, like to the first and to the 5th or 4th fight that you have with him. He's not that annoying in the God Home, so I think that it's only this critique is only applicable in his natural habitat, quote unquote habitat. It's not really a habitat, but yeah, I didn't really like Zod, but I did like the White Defender. The White Defender was a fight that I would easily do again if I had the chance to like enjoy it as much as my first time. So yeah, that was it for the dreams shit for the dreams and whatever the fuck. I don't fucking remember. I'm sorry. But yeah, let's get to the next one, which is not the Lifeblood, because the Lifeblood doesn't really add shit. Let's just take the Gods and Nightmares the Nightmare and the God Home and fuse them together because they're pretty much the same thing. They are really good DLCs. So, the Nightmare DLC and the God Home DLC, they add quite a lot. First things first, they added a boss to the Hive, which is something that it really needed. Deepness is still boss free, which I don't really like, but I mean, we're still waiting for Silk Song, so this might get changed, or we might just see some story behind Deepness and Hornet and shit, because Silk Song will be with Hornet. But yeah, Deepness is still kept boss free. Now, something I didn't like as much is the boss fight that this DLC added. It added 2 new main boss fights: the Troop Master Grim and the Nightmare King Grim. Both of these are obviously the same NPC. You don't fight a different NPC. It's just like the White Defender and Dark Defender, or False Knight and Fell Champion, the Broken Vessel and Lost Kin. It's just a harder version of Grim. Let's start with the Grim fight. The Grim fight, I loved it. I still play this fight to this day, and I still rematch Grim on the God Home, and it's just fucking amazing. I love this fight. I will never get tired of it. He has 5 really powerful attacks and really confusing attacks, and it can catch you off guard, and you can start getting hit after hit after hit after hit. And also it's really intense, especially when you fight it in his natural habitat, because in his natural location, because he just snaps his finger and fire starts burning, and the music just rises, and then you start fighting. It was a really good fight. But personally, I think it's one of my favorite fights in the game. But you're going to see which fight is my favorite. It wasn't this, although it does come close. It wasn't this. Now, Nightmare King Grim is another example of bad fights. It's he sits right next to in the worst fights catalog. He sits right next to the Hollow Knight. these two fights, I hated them. The Hollow Knight, I hated him because a new update in God Home brought to me a way better boss, which we will talk about later when we get to God Home. And I hated Nightmare King Grim because he is just not that hard, not that easy, not that medium. He's just way too fucking hard. Okay? I'll try to explain myself. I'll try to explain myself. I don't think I'll succeed. My opinion on this boss is just so fucking dog shit. I hate it. I hated this boss. Okay? And that's because it doesn't matter if you're good at the game. It doesn't matter if you're the best player ever. Okay? Nightmare King will still be the same. What do I mean? I mean that for some reason, not for some reason. It's obviously the Nightmare King. It's the fights. It's the fights. Well, rhythm. I would say, but it's not that, right? It's that for some fucking reason, okay, the devs chose that the fight's rhythm will be this. Nightmare King appears in the arena, fires off an attack, you get 2 or 3 hits on him, and then he disappears for a second or 2. He then reappears, blasts off an attack, and then you get 2 or 3 hits on him, and then he disappears. On the 70%, 50%, and 25% of his health bar, he will do this balloon shit that fires off red fiery balls that are really annoying to dodge, especially when you use the Mantis Globe, which is you already have that when you get in God's Home or when you fight Grim. So yeah, I didn't like that boss fight at all. He teleports way too fast. He deals 2 masks of damage, which I don't really see the reason to do that. And also he's just way too hard, and that's one of the reasons. He deals 2 masks of damage. He also teleports so fucking fast that you can't get a hit on him, and it becomes annoying. And when you're fighting Grim, Nightmare King Grim, sorry, you don't really have a choice. You just have to wait for Grim to just fucking decide to do an attack. And yeah, it's a boring fight, but it's also a hard fight. Don't get me wrong, I never said that this fight is easy. He has 6 very powerful fucking attacks. They deal 2 masks of damage, they are very fast, and just like Grim, if you get caught off rhythm, and if you get caught at all actually, you will start getting 6 or 8 masks of damage consecutively, and you won't be able to dodge. You won't be able to do anything. Okay, so I didn't really like this fight, but I will give it the benefit of the doubt. It might just be me. Okay, from what I've seen, some other people didn't really like it, but I mean, whatever. What fucking ever. I guess it's my fault. I don't really like that hard boss fights. But now that we get to go home, and now that I can actually explain the biggest part of all the updates, because I'm guessing that the 20-something minutes I'm imagining the video to have will just be me talking about God Home, because it's just an update that's so fucking big. So yeah, I didn't really like Nightmare King. That might be because I'm just a fucking wuss. Might not be, I don't know. I loved Grim. He's definitely one of my 3 favorite fights. So yeah, let's get to God Home, and let's see how to make a good update, because God Home is just fucking amazing. So, God Home. Why do I like God Home? It's pretty obvious. Well, actually, what is God Home? God Home is a boss rush area. So, what this means is that you can fight whatever boss in the game, and you can fight it again and again and again, practice on it, choose the difficulty that you want on it, reverse some upgrades that you have, reverse charms that you have, masks, shells, whatever the fuck you want to reverse and make the fight harder, you can do that. Now, there are two ways to fight a boss in Godhome. You either do a boss rush, which is a pantheon that has 10 bosses, and it goes from Pantheon 1 to Pantheon 5. And the Pantheon leaders, quote unquote, are as follows. Name Masters, Oro and Mato in the first Pantheon. Pain Master, Shio in the second Pantheon. Yoda in the third Sly in the Pantheon, in the third Pantheon. And a very good fight, Pure Vessel in the fourth Pantheon. So, did I like the concept of Pantheons? I did. I liked it a lot. The fights are really, really good, and some arenas have also changed. You also fight the hardest version, a very tough version of any boss. So, like, even if you're fighting Soul Master, he has the same health bar as Soul Tyrant, but Soul Tyrant has a way bigger health bar. So they have way bigger health bars. They have faster attacks. You can't really make their attacks deal more damage or something. At least in the Pantheons, you can do that. But you can reverse your nail upgrades to level 1, your charms to none, your masks to only 4 or 5, and your soul vessel just to reverse it to 1/3. So yeah, I really like the concept of this of the Pantheons, and yeah. Also, you might notice that I said 2 ways of fighting. One is the Pantheons, and the other one is the Hall of Gods, which you can fight individual bosses, and yeah, individual bosses, and choose their difficulty. It's Attuned, Ascended, and Radiant. Attuned deals regular damage, Ascended deals double, and Radiant kills you in 1 hit. You can't really customize anything else. I was hoping that you could customize nail damage or charms or something, but you can't really do that. I'm not really bad about it, but I'm just saying. So yeah, I loved the Hall of Bosses. It's definitely the best thing of all the updates that Hollow Knight has gotten so far. But the elephant of the room, you might already get that because I haven't even talked about it yet. It's the fifth Pantheon. So, the fifth Pantheon, appropriately named the Pantheon of Hollow Nest, has you fight every fucking boss. 42 bosses in the game, and it's, fuck me, is it hard. But it's not hard from the perspective that the bosses are hard. You'll see what I mean. So, first things first, let's talk about the Pantheon. This Pantheon fails me, personally. Although it adds new fights, which other Pantheons don't, it loses me. Okay, this is where the update kind of loses me. I hated that it just took so fucking long to beat, especially with bindings, which is nail damage and shit. And it was also so fucking annoying that if you lost, you had to go back and replay the whole Pantheon. If I died on Nightmare King because of a glitch, especially because of a glitch, I had to go and fight all the other bosses and then go back to Nightmare King. Okay, and then after Nightmare King go to Pure Vessel, and then after Pure Vessel go to a new boss fight that I will not be talking about for now. So yeah, that's where this Pantheon loses me. First things first. Second thing second, it adds battles that I loved. It's just, oh god, it adds 3 battles, okay? Well, 4, kind of. No, actually, no, 3, you've already fought Pure Vessel. So, these 3 battles are just pure fucking art, okay? 2 of them. One of them is bad. But anyways, the first one is the Sisters of Battle. It's an alteration. It's an alternative to the Mantis Lords, which has you fight all 3 of them. It's lovely. The other one is Flying Nosk, the new worst boss of the game. It's just like the Venge Flies, which you might not even know what the fuck they are because nobody even gives a shit about what they are. The Venge Flies are this boss, and Nosk is quite like them. He just flies around the arena out of your fucking reach, and he just comes in, you hit him twice, and then he vanishes. He just goes out in the other end of the arena, which you can never see, by the way, and he just spits some goo at you, some of this orange infection goo shit that it's really easy to dodge, and then he just lunges back at you. You hit him twice, and then rinse and repeat. That's why this boss fight is just fucking bad. He also might summon these Obla Obli guys, these orange shits that I really love in fights, in some fights, like the Lost Kin. The Lost Kin can use these Obli shits very well, although it is quite annoying sometimes. But anyways, we're not gonna be talking about Lost Kin. And the third boss fight is the last boss fight of the Pantheon, which is a rematch of the Radiance, appropriately named Absolute Radiance. And yeah, this is a boss fight that I didn't really like. I'll be talking about that. You can see you're going to see why this boss fight lost me, and yeah, you might bear with me, right? So why didn't I like the boss fight? It's too hard. That's all I'm gonna say for now. We're gonna dive into it deeper later. But for now, let's continue talking about Pantheon 5, shall we? Yeah, so the Pantheon is too hard. Not because the fights are too hard, but because for some fucking reason you just get tired after some bosses. And it takes too long to get to the good fights. It takes too long to reach Sisters of Battle or Lost Kin, Failed Champion, Soul Tyrant. It takes too long to reach these fights. You just have to fight the fucking Collector, Grozmother, False Knight, Broken Vessel, Nosk, Flying Nosk. All these fights are fucking boring and they are not good. At least compared to fucking Grim, Sisters of Battle, Pure Vessel, Absolute Radiance, kind of. Like I said, I didn't really like it. But yeah, you see, it's not. Some bosses are just fucking trash. The Hive Knight, that's the new boss of the Hive, which you also fight in the Pantheon, is fucking dog shit. I hate this boss fight so much. He just sits around, attacks you once or twice, and then he just disappears, reappears behind you, you need to dodge or attack, and then he just spits some bees that forgot their wallet and just return, and then he just puts on some spike shits that if they get you and you're on Radiant mode or are trying hitless, you die or you lose. Okay, so Hive Knight lost me completely. I didn't like Hive Knight at fucking all. Okay, a boss fight that I did like, and it's actually my favorite boss fight, is the Pure Vessel. Because Jesus fucking Christ, it's so well made. While I'm talking, I'll be having the boss fight behind you. Okay, no music or something, but also the soundtrack is just fucking masterpiece. But yeah, I'll just be having the fight behind you, alright? And you will just see why this boss fight is so fucking good. I love this boss fight. So, why is it good? He changes attacks fast. He's really, really hard. But he also has this I don't even know how to fucking explain it. He has this feel onto him that you feel like you're fighting something really, really tough, but at the same time, not easy. Obviously, Pure Vessel is not easy, but I can't explain it. Fuck me, sideways. I made a script, right, and this part I just said I'll do it on like improv because I didn't even fucking know how to explain it. I spent 10 minutes trying to fucking find words to explain how much I love this fight. Okay, so you fight something really tough. Okay, Pure Vessel is a really hard boss fight, way harder than Nightmare King in my opinion, which is theoretically, Nightmare King, Pure Vessel, and Radiant and the Absolute Radiance are the game's 3 toughest boss fights. That's not true, by the way, at least in my opinion. So Pure Vessel has the same feel to Sisters of Battle. Sisters of Battle continuously harass you, like you just defeat one of them, and then all 3 of them just fucking kill you. Okay, I'll be having both of the fights, so you can understand what I mean. Okay, so they continuously, Sisters of Battle continuously harass you. You cannot fucking move. All right, you can't move freely because they just continuously, they're really fast with the attacks, and they don't give you space to move. They don't give you anything. Okay, so that's the same feel that Pure Vessel has, because with Pure Vessel he harasses you, and he harasses you way too fucking fast, way faster than the Sisters of Battle. Okay, if you have, in this fight you will have to simultaneously dodge, jump, parry, double jump, Mantis Claw in the wall, and then jump, double jump, Desolate Dive down, okay, and then the Pure Vessel is going to parry and then fucking hit you. You're gonna lose 4 masks or something, okay, and then the spiky swords will come out of the ground, which is the best attack ever. Really, the Hollow Knight also had this attack, but it was with these orange volcanoes, and then this white bubble shit will start, which is one of the best attacks that Pure Vessel has, because it can catch you off guard. Then he's going to parry again as you're trying to fucking hit him. He's going to fucking harass you until you die, and then he's going to unleash some void out of his fucking asshole, and then the void is just going to fucking kill you, and then you replay the battle if you're not in a Pantheon, and it's just so fucking well made. I can't explain how well made this is. Also, while I was talking, I lost my breath quite a lot of times, so that's another thing. So, definitely Pure Vessel, my favorite fucking fight. But the moment I've been waiting to do, I was actually waiting to do that. I want to compare the Hollow Knight boss fight to the Pure Vessel boss fight. They can't even be compared, actually. It's just that the Hollow Knight is so slow, is so much slower, has way worse attacks, and actually he's just slower and has way worse attacks. There is no end. Okay, this fight is bad, while the Pure Vessel is not. Although I do give them some kind of credit. I'm going to give Team Cherry some kind of credit for that, because if they made the Hollow Knight hard, then you wouldn't be able to get to the Radiance as quickly and as easily as you can right now. So I do give them the benefit of the doubt, but I mean, they cannot be compared. If they could, I wouldn't really be making this video. I'm serious right now. Okay, I've had some friends that compare Hollow Knight and Pure Vessel, or Grim and Nightmare King Grim, and I'm like, it's not even based on opinion. This fight is bad. The Hollow Knight and Nightmare King are bad, while Pure Vessel and Grim are so well made. Okay, so I'm just going to tell you my 3 favorite fights. Well, my 5 actually, because there are really good fights. Okay, and after that we're going to be talking about Absolute Radiance, because this is a topic on its own, right? I would really love to talk about every boss, but fortunately can't do that. So my favorite boss fight is Pure Vessel. The second place takes Sisters of Battle, just for the same reason as Pure Vessel, but Pure Vessel just harasses you way faster and way more efficiently, in my opinion, always. Now, third place, I was quite I was quite conflicted between Grim and Absolute Radiance. That's how much I love Absolute Radiance, but you will also see why I hate Absolute. You see, I'm not trying to be coy. It's just that I'm so fucking confused with this boss fight. But you know what? For now, for the sake of this video, third place takes Grim, fourth place takes the Lost Kin, and fifth place takes the Radiance. Now, why did I give Grim third place? Why did I give Grim a better place than Lost Kin. Lost Kin does have some really good attacks. I love this boss fight, but it's slow. It doesn't have a quick pace. While Grim has a very quick pace, and Grim also has the music behind him, and he just guides you through the music, and it's just a piece of art, in my opinion. Grim is a piece of art. Now, now that I've ranked these boss fights, I'm going to be talking about Absolute Radiance because, like I said, this is a topic on its own. For anyone that's not interested in hearing about this, because this is going to be the rest of the video, yeah, that was the video for you. Now, for anyone that is actually that actually wants to hear about Absolute Radiance, here we fucking go. So, Absolute Radiance. I didn't like this fight, but I actually did. I'm not going to make any jokes in this because I actually want this to be serious. Okay, so why did I like Absolute Radiance? She has really quick moves. She also has a lot of health, which is sometimes boring, sometimes it's not. For this time, it wasn't because the fight is well paced. Again, she has a very good pace in her fight, but why don't I like the Absolute Radiance? This might sound like an excuse because I've said this for the whole video. I've said it about Nightmare King, I've said it about Pure Vessel, I've said it about a lot of bosses. Absolute Radiance is too hard. She's not the too hard as hard as Nightmare King because Nightmare King is just way easier. She's just way harder than Nightmare King, and that is a problem in my opinion because although I do like this fight, although I do like it, okay, it loses me there because, like I said, it's way too hard. Why is it way too hard? It has a very quick pace. It has really strong attacks, and sorry, she has the fight has a very quick pace. She has a really big health bar, and she also has really powerful attacks. These are also the reasons why I like the fight. That's why I'm so confused about it. There are some times that I love the fight and I want to replay it. There are some other times that I don't, and I want to go back to Lost Kin or Sisters of Battle, Pure Vessel, whatever. So I've heard a lot of I've heard a lot of people say that this fight is absolutely magnificent. That it's a really well paced battle, and it's just as hard as it needs to be for the last boss of a 42 boss pantheon. I disagree. I respectfully, but also disrespectfully disagree with that. So why? When you've gone through 41 bosses, with three of these being the Fell Champion, Nightmare King, and Pure Vessel, which are three really challenging battles, but also Lost Kid, Soul Tyrant, the second Hornet fight, Grim. These are really challenging fights, okay? I don't really think that people would love another really hard fight that is as paced, as quickly paced as this fight. And the boss having so much health, it's just, I don't know, it's just way too hard for the pantheons. Now, for the Hall of Gods, there is a way different reason, which is also part of the pantheon, but some of her attacks can overlap. For example, a Pillar of Light can overlap with the Spike Floor, which can also overlap with pretty much every fucking move. Now, why is this bad? When you're trying to complete a 42 boss, a 42 boss pantheon, a 42 boss rush, and you have locked your nail to to the base damage, and all that, it takes too long to finish the battle from your end, but too little from the boss's end. because like I said, you have locked healing and you have only 4 masks, which is 2 hits from the radiance, from absolute radiance, or 2 hits from pure vessel, or 2 hits from nightmare king. Okay, you can lose at any point in this 42 boss pantheon. But the Nightmare King and Pure Vessel are not as challenging as the Radiance. Now, for some people, this is good. This is a really well made fight. Um, this is also, but unfortunately, this is where it loses me. I don't like this fight just because it is way too hard for for a pantheon. But if it was only in the Hall of Gods, I would think that this is one of the best fights ever, and that's why I was so confused on ranking it, because it's because I am confused actually. That's why I sounded confused, because I am confused. I don't know what placement I would give the fight if it was only in the Hall of Gods. Probably a 2 or a 3. Second or third place. First place is again Pure Vessel, because I just love it. I love the fight, just so well made. But I don't really. I also don't think that I would give Sisters of Battle the third place in order for the Radiance to go in, because, like I said, something about the Radiance is just not right. It doesn't click. Okay, you don't really see that. You don't feel that click moment that you actually like the fight. Although I like the challenge, and although I like the soundtrack and all that, and all of these things make a really good fight, they don't. I don't know. They don't feel correct. They don't feel right when you just put them on, like, pick them apart. Okay, when you pick these things, all these factors apart objectively, for example, it turns, and you all of these factors that were good, they turn to mid to bad. Okay, so like I don't have anything else to say for the Radiance. I didn't like the fight, but I also did, and I will forever be confused. Well, I'm not actually confused. Okay, I do have an opinion on the Radiance. If it was only in the Hall of Gods, I would definitely give. I would have definitely. Fucking hell! I would have definitely given it a way better placement than I have. But because it is not only in the Hall of Gods, and it is in the pantheons as well, I have to judge it objectively with taking both factors in mind. So I can't just judge it. I can make a leaderboard for the pantheon and a leaderboard for the Hall of Gods. So I just combine all these, and combined, my leaderboard leads to the Radiance being 5th place. You could disagree with me. You could agree. Whatever. I mean, everything is based in opinion. So yeah, thank you really much for watching this video today. It did take me, well, it didn't take that long because I didn't really have to research shit. But yeah, the day I'm recording this is Sunday. It will probably be out Tuesday or Monday. I don't know. 8 of May. That's when I'm recording this. I don't know when it's going to be out. I have high hopes for 1 or 2 days. But yeah, thank you really much for joining me today. I hope you liked the video. If you did, please please leave a like. It does help me out. Leave your thoughts on the comments. For example, your own leaderboard for Hollow Knight. But the thing that everyone has been waiting, I think, do I recommend the game? Yes, it's definitely my favorite game ever. Used to be God of War 4, but yeah, my opinions change, and yeah, I love this game way too much to change my opinion again. I have tried other Metroidvania games. They don't really click as much as Hollow Knight. I've tried Cuphead. I haven't gotten past the first stage of Cuphead because it's just way too fucking hard. I'm going to be trying it, but I don't fucking know. But yeah, after that, I don't know. So yeah, thank you. Also, if you could subscribe, that would really be helpful. Um, and yeah, thank you very much for joining me today, and I'll see you in the next critique or video I make. Also, two last things. The Forest series is not over yet. Don't worry. First things first. And second, if you would like to see a, let's say a preview of these reviews, it would be nice to watch my streams because I do critique the game as I'm playing it sometimes. But yeah, the latest game I've played was Iblis, a very, very horror game. Actually, my favorite horror game ever. Yeah, but my favorite game ever still is Hollow Knight, and my favorite fight ever is still Pure Vessel. If anyone has a different opinion, please go and fuck yourselves.